YouTube. I've finally decided to do another Duel video. Today I am playing my Reckless Frog OTK, and this is against Constellars. I actually had a really good Lightsworn game, but I didn't record it, so I started recording afterwards, and I had this, so this shall have to suffice for now. Really fun deck, really awesome. So hopefully you can learn a bit of the combos here as I play through it. So anyway, he opts to go first, and he just sits 4 passes. At this point I consider setting Grizzly, but I prefer to just summon and do a bit of damage, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really too concerned about anything like a Solemn or something. So just might as well punch in for like some free damage right off the bat. And I pop Duality. I think it was a breakthrough skill, yeah. So I just set 2 and pass. It's gonna get an end phase MST right about now. Sorry, ignition. He hits my torrential, which really sucks. I would have preferred the breakthrough. It actually doesn't matter because of what he does now. He actually manages to clear both my back row here, and so this is actually Constellar artifacts, or it may even be pure artifacts sided into pure Constellar, because, well, actually I don't think that's possible. It's Constellar artifacts. I sided really badly for this. I'll probably get into that a little bit later. But anyway, so on end phase he's gonna hit a double cyclone. He's gonna smash his own Begeltech and getting rid of my breakthrough. I chain breakthrough in the graveyard, not realizing that it can't be used on the turn it's sent there as well. But so we get into like a kind of mini argument on chat discussing the technicalities of breakthrough, and I decide to actually read the card because I'm bad, and come to the conclusion that yes, I cannot break through his Begeltech right now. I lose this game really fast. I'll just, as you can tell, there isn't much I can particularly do here. So he hits both his face downs, bringing out 2 moral attacks, and then yeah, it's all my end phase. I have no protection, my TT was blown up, my breakthrough was smashed, so I'm in a really bad position right here. I have Gores, I'm not too particularly worried about that. However, he's got a rank 5 play, and I mean, he can really just do anything. Plague is obviously not really the best option against Gores. But anyway, he goes all in, and he starts to just attack it even with Honest. He attacks with the highest attack first for some reason, not sure why. But anyway, I drop the Gores. Consider putting it in defense mode first of all, but I don't think I'm at any risk of an honor arc of some sort here. So he's going to have to settle for just a 21 punch from Maratak, and main phase 2. Goes into a rank 5 play just about soonish. I took so long to scoop here because I didn't realize that Volcasaur could blow up tokens as well. But you know, can't really do anything, right? So I mean, main phase 2, he's just gonna Volcasaurus and blow up my Gores here right about now. So yeah, this deck has a pretty decent hand game, I feel. It's not too bad, but the artifacts can be really annoying if they manage to apply these on you. It's not really something that's easily dealt with. I feel that the frog deck, it's just missing a lot of tools. I mean, you have access to rank 2 and 5. Problem is that rank 2s, they're not particularly amazing at getting you out of a lot of sticky situations. I mean, they help you OTK with things like Herald, but I feel like if there was a couple more rank 2s that were, you know, on the level of Exiton and 101, I'm not saying like they would have to use the same effects, but just something that was like on that sort of level in terms of potency, then, you know, potentially like decks like Frogs could see a lot more play. I think it's actually a really good deck, but just not much you can really do with things like underrepresentation and obviously with the inception of Shaddoll soon. So this is where I do a late scoop because I don't really. I forgot that Vocasaur could just blow up my what's it called again? Yes, token. I side really badly here because I assume I'm playing against Hat with a little bit more emphasis on the artifacts rather than perhaps the trap tricks here because of things like double cyclone. So I side in things like Decree, which is not too great, but what else did I put? Oh yeah, I put in debunks for hands, which you'll see soon enough is actually a really bad move. Anyway, I decided to go first. I just set my Grizzly set to back row and pass. I'm trying to remember what actually goes on here. I'll just commentate as I go, so I don't need to like go and get ahead. So anyway, he brings down Algady. I break through. I feel like perhaps that was a little too early on the breakthrough. But I really didn't want him going into an Ixie. I didn't want him to bring down like an Omega or something, so anyway, his Algady is just going to head over my Grizzly, which is going to bring out Dupe Frog. Questionable for some people, but I feel like if you know that your card isn't like at risk anytime soon, then you know it's not always that great to bring out a Swap Frog from Grizzly if you've already got it in your hand in this case. So anyway, I normal summon Swap Frog, just stick a Tadpole in the grave, put Dupe Frog into defense and pass turn. Dupe Frog is actually a really awesome card, especially when next game you see the cards I side in. Dupe Frog becomes absolutely amazing. But anyway, so right now he goes all in. This is super misplay by him because, you know, I suppose it's not really his fault because he doesn't know I like run Needle Sealing, but yeah, he gets smashed pretty hard here by Needle Sealing. If he wanted to overextend, he probably should have just made Omega and then brought down the second Pollock summon, I feel, but I mean, it happens, so anyway, Dupe Frog is going to get me a Ronin Tool out of the deck so I can special swap out of my hand, and I assume he's just going to pass here. Soul Charge would be pretty nuts, but he doesn't have it, so I discard Ronin to drop the Swap Frog, dumping another Ronin, bounce it back to my hand yet again to drop a Dupe Frog. Just trying to fill up my graveyard here, give me all the options, and I start off with Ronin summon to bring out Death Frog, who's gonna special summon another Death Frog out of the deck. So this is essentially how the deck works. Whenever you tribute summon Death Frog, you can special summon another Death Frog from your hand or deck. So it just gives you really easy rank 5 plays with things like Ronin Totem, especially when you start to bring in things like Infernal Reckless Summon. It goes absolutely nuts. But anyway, main phase 2 takes Swap Frog back up into my hand. I'm going to overlay into Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja. This card is absolutely fantastic, especially now that I'm against Constellars. I bring out in defense, which means he can't Honor Arc it, he can't Black Ship it. It's essentially immune to like everything for like at least like 2 turns. And this is also why I sided in DD Crows. DD Crows are actually so good against Constellars, which I didn't realize at the time. I usually side them in FarfaYGO anyway, just because like DD Crow and Bagel Tech, or you know, the Diania target is actually really helpful. Just because other things like I see people siding things like Rivalry of Warlords against Hat, which it's really bad. I mean, they're just gonna Ice Hand Pop it, you know. So I think Floodgate cards like that are really bad unless you can run Banish stuff, which obviously I can't. But anyway, I DD Crow his Sombre target, so you know, pretty awesome for me there. I drop another Ronin Totem, I believe, into the grave. And then I detach material from Ninja. I was planning to do a Herald play, but then I do some quick maths and I realize I can game him right here. So I'm gonna have to make a rank 2 here. I bring my Swap Frog back to my hand. I'm going to go to Daigusto Phoenix and just Shadow Armor Ninja is going to attack over. I probably would have detached here anyway with Shadow Armor Ninja, so it's not too big of a deal because just in case of Honest, because you can't use it in the damage step. But yeah, that's enough to make him scoop it up. So anyway, I consider signing an MST here, which I end up not doing, which I should have because I know Constellars can run things like Macro and Defissure, so I definitely should have put the MSTs in just in case. I opt to go for the absolutely broken Flying Sea. It is absolutely nuts against rank 4 decks. I think if I can get it out early enough against like Constellar, Eagle Swarm, Hunder, just anything that's like rank 4, it's GG, because they can't make anything bigger than my frogs in defense. And they can't XZ because Flying Sea, so it's kind of just sitting there, and I can just sit there like, you know, building up my back row, my resources, filling up my grave with Swap Frog, and bouncing it back to my, just sitting on this like Dupe Frog in defense. So Flying Sea is so good against rank 4 decks. It's essentially like one of the strongest points I feel of this deck going into games 2 and 3 because it's a absolutely nuts play you can do with Flying Seas and Frogs, which you will actually see in this video because, well, I'll just let you watch. So anyway, I open what would potentially be a bad hand, but I actually think it's a really good hand, just because I've got Dupe Frog. I've got all three in my hand, which is like probably a bit overkill, but having Dupe Frog and Flying Sea means, like I said, I can just bring down a Flying Sea when he brings out another, what's it called? A second Constellar monster, and I can just sit on my Dupe Frog because he's not going to make anything bigger than Dupe Frog. Even with like Honest, like I believe he can't even get over it because it's only going to increase his monster's attack by like 100. I generally can't see like a sort of, you know, steady out to this combo here. But anyway, he's just going to load up some back row. I'm just going to keep setting my Dupe Frogs. Now this is strange, he brings on Cyber Dragon. I'm not sure if this is just something to complement his rank 5s, but anyway, so he just goes like Cyber Dragon to Pollux. He brings in another Pollux, and I immediately drop the Flying Sea on the second Pollux. At this point, he chooses to simply pass here, and I really don't know why. I feel like, you know, Cyber Dragon would be able to attack over my Dupe Frog at this point. But I guess, I don't know, I suppose he just decides to play it safe. That's definitely a misplay on his part. Now, this is really awesome here because Dupe Frog's name is actually Des Frog as well. So as you can see, I have Des Croaking in my hand. And for a lot of people watching this, probably don't know what Des Croaking is, but it's actually like Ojama Delta Hurricane. If any of you guys remember that from the anime. Basically, if you have 3 Dupe Frogs on the field, Des Frogs, sorry, you can activate Des Croaking and blow up their entire side of the board. Everything, back row, monsters, just everything, just destroy it all. So good. We actually get into a little bit of a strange situation here, however, because as you can see, I've activated Des Croaking. He's blown up his cards. He's agreed. So by removing his cards from the field, he has, you know, agreed to sort of the game state where Des Croaking has now resolved. So, but he decides to say chain. So after he's gotten rid of all his cards except one, he decides to chain ignition. So he blows up an artifact. I think this is the draw one. I'm not sure. Oh no, this is the one that protects him from being destroyed. So anyway, he's like, tells me to wait here because he's actually going to artifact ignition into. Well, he's popping his own artifact to bring it out, and then he's going to set Scythe from his deck, and because it's chained, this is where Des Croaking would resolve, and it will blow up Artifact Scythe. Artifact Scythe gets blown up, gets special summoned, it means I can't go into my extra deck. Because I can't go into my extra deck, it means this main phase 2 Gachi is pretty much void here at this point. So we get into like a sort of kind of tussle here, but I decide to just kind of go with it because I mean, really, there's no point in waiting around for an admin. If, I mean, that doesn't really bother me too much. I'm not really one of those people that like rope shark unless like I'm really really just wanting to win that one specific game or whatever. But yeah, so I let him go through that. I have 3 dead Duke Frogs in attack, which is not good. I'm very vulnerable to an OTK here, but I don't think his deck can really manage, especially since he's basically top decking. But anyway, so I'm a little late here because I'm too busy arguing in the chat, but I actually decided to drop the second Flying Sea on the scythe, just because I don't want him going into like Pleiades or Volcasaur. Not like Volcasaur is too much of a problem, but you know, Pleiades is a very problem card for this deck. So I just put that Flying Sea down on his side of the board, and he's gonna go all in again here. He is currently arguing with me right now, saying that I can't actually Flying Sea because it was on my turn, but you can actually Flying Sea any time you want, as long as it's when your opponent summons a monster. So even if they summon a monster on your turn, you can still Flying Sea them. Really awesome card. So this is sometimes why I consider playing on Dev Pro, but I just really like the ranking system on DN a bit more. Dev Pro's cool and stuff, and it means I don't have to sit and like talk to people and tell them why they're idiots for so long. Yeah, so it looks like he's eventually gonna come to terms with that. I'm just trying to think if he's like done anything particularly wrong here in game 2. Sorry, game 3. Cyber Dragon not attacking over is probably the biggest thing. But anyway, he goes all in. He even summons Honest, and he's gonna just wreck through my Duke Frogs, taking 49, I believe. So anyway, I get 3 effects off. I am gonna take a Swap Frog and 2 Ronins, and yeah, this puts me in a really good position, despite my health, my life points. I've got a dead Pot of Duality in my hand at the moment. Pot of Duality is really amazing in this deck. It lets you get to your combo pieces like Des Frog, your Swap Frog, your Reckless Summon, all these really important cards. But you do special summon a lot, so it will be dead quite a lot of the time. So anyway, I start bringing down my Swap Frog multiple times to just dump things into the grave, and I like to keep one Swap Frog left in the deck if I have literally nothing left to send, but I'm going to go for the super ultimate broken combo right now. So I need all the Banish Fodder I can for Ronin Toden. So this is it here. It's Ghostrix Succubus. Basically, when you have 2 Succubuses out on the field, it creates a soft lock, so they can't attack because when you control a Ghostrix, this card cannot be attacked. So when you have 2, it kind of like they protect each other, so you can't actually attack over them despite their puny defense. Moreover, once per turn, you can detach material and destroy 1 monster your opponent controls with attack less than the combined attack of all Ghostrix you control. So because I control 2 Ghostrix, I can destroy any monster he has with less than 2800 attack. And on top of that, when you successfully destroy that monster, you're going to block that monster zone. So this is why he has tokens on his side of the field now, because it means those monster zones are now currently blocked as long as Ghostrix Succubus is on the field. And on top of that, he has a Flying Sea that he can't even crash because I've got him in defense. This is why Flying Sea is so good, and this is why this combo is so good in this deck. So I duality it into another Flying Sea. So that means I'm free to blow up the other Flying Sea and create another blocked monster zone. So this leaves him with 2 zones now. As soon as he summons another monster, I'm just going to Flying Sea, and he's going to be absolutely locked out and pretty much left with no plays. So I can even make a 3rd Succubus if I really need to, if I want to block out like that last final zone for lulz, in case like, you know, he needs to like use like some back row. But anyway, he just puts down card car. Not too fussed about that at all. Pretty okay for me. So I draw my Reckless Summon, so I'm in such a good position. It doesn't matter if I get like screwed over at this point. I've got my Reckless Summon ready. Just so many plays available to me. Anyway, I tried to like do some maths and figure if I can OTK him this turn. If I had access to Reckless Summon, I probably could, but I don't. So I just bring out our Ronin Totem Tribute Summon Desfrog, which lets me special summon another Desfrog, and I'm just gonna punch over for big damage. Main phase 2. I consider Xing. This is actually one of the few times I didn't Xing, because sometimes Xing is like, you know, kind of obviously good because the Desfrogs are pretty small for a level 5, like 19. I mean, there's like level 4s I can get over that. But I feel like it's safer to pass because I'm not really threatened, and it's better to just be able to put out more damage. I would have probably went into Shadow Armor Ninja, maybe even like Zenmayo, but I know for a fact that he's playing the artifact, so there's no point. He brings down a Pollux, so I'm immediately going to Flying Sea again. Now he tries to put it into attack. Fortunately for him, this is where he misplays. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a misplay. I mean, because he saw me take the Flying Sea, so that means he knew I had it. So he's probably summoning this guy, and he's going to summon put Flying Sea into attack. Sorry, to try and crash it, to give him like some rank 4 options. But it stays in defense. Comes to my turn. I block his final zone, and I attack over the Flying Sea, and then I attack over with the Desfrogs, and it's GG. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Do you like the deck? What would you change? And perhaps if you want to see other decks in play, just let me know in the comment section. I'll hopefully play them. So yeah, thank you for watching.